bottle is dark, so I can't see if my kombucha is fully there. That's a way to start things.
That's right.
Oh, I'm not even in the document yet.
Yeah, they just filled this thing with mud. That's all it is. This actually reminds me, when I was in 3rd grade, living on Tunstall, my friends Laura and Joey came over, and we noticed some ants in the backyard, and we were like, well, let's be helpful. Let's try to create something to kill these ants. And so we filled up a great big old water bottle with like some water and then like some mud and also some random things, and we tested it out, and the ants didn't seem to like it. And so we're like, wow, we really did something here. Maybe we can try to make some money. And so we took this bottle down the street to the neighbors on the street. And in fact, here, this is the bottle, in fact. And we said, hey, we created this bug killer to kill ants, and we were wondering if you wanted to buy it. And I now understand, this woman's expression as she looked at this and thought like, oh, how cute and how horrifying. I don't want to know what's in there. What do I say so that they don't feel bad, but they go away and take this bottle far, far away from here, and I never see it again.
Do you know what? It's always funny when you tell these stories. Mm-hmm. I have no idea if there's even an inkling of truth, or it's really just a way for you to create a fun story about something that you think looks like mud. And I'm always like, is this true?
No, absolutely.
Did this
No,
happen?
Laura and Joey should remember it. My mother might. I don't know.
You tease me all the time with things.
It was a big bottle. And it had the label ripped off. But I mean, it looked just like that.
Well, this is the glass itself is dark. Like, you can't
really
judge the contents. Yeah, because you can't even see, like, you can barely see, like, that's just the color of the glass.
Oh, okay. No, the color of this bottle was clear and ended up looking like that.
And so, hello to all the people here. Good to see you all. Ooh, Miles says the earth says hello to us.
You twinkle above us. We twinkle below.
We sparkle.
No.
Twinkle above. We sparkle below.
I don't think that's how the song goes.
There is no song.
You weren't aware of the song? Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello.
Right, but I didn't know that particular line, the twinkle.
Yeah, you twinkle above us, stars. We twinkle below.
But it should be sparkle. I need to write to them to change their 50-year-old song. But I'll take a coverage.
The art of truth invention. I like this idea.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. So I think you do have this pulled up on the screen. I feel
Never saw the Johnny Depp.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I wasn't interested.
I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory itself is just horrifying, and so
it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to not be.
Remaking it is too much. So yeah, Logan.
That's right.
Yeah, I hear you. I just want it to be sparkle.
And there's an episode of The Simpsons where Leonard Nimoy is one of the guest stars, where he sings the song. Mr. Burns also sings it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we have some Gemini decisions that were made.
Yes, indeed. And, I did say that they were all good, and I did all of I was the one that put all these things together and submitted them for the poll, but...
Then there was one that you were like, why did I include this?
Yeah.
And it won?
Yeah. So anyway, let's keep going.
Good Lord, David. Side note, I don't know if Blauerkicks is here today, but if you are... Happy birthday.
He's off at the store picking up some Blauer kicks, if you know what I mean.
You are so bizarre. Okay, so. I did my happy birthday, so I can close that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to some poll results.
Let's, yeah.
Well, first, like the no geminates was A.
Yeah. And so that was just to eliminate all geminates, and that one lost pretty badly, right?
If you mean by lost that not a single person voted for it, even once.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, because I like geminates, so I was happy that they were going to be included.
So they will be. Also, nobody voted for option D.
Option D, which was glide approximant and nasal geminates.
Mm-hmm. It's a strange option. Everybody felt it was strange, and they said no.
Yeah, but I have to say that when you learn French, it's also a strange thing, especially if you come from linguistics. So you're like, hold on a sec, this word doesn't have an N in it and it's nasalized. This word, on the other hand, does have an N in it and it's not nasalized? How do you even do that? Because, of course, with English speakers, anytime we have a nasal coda, the vowel's automatically nasalized. And so, like, you have to, like, train yourself to not nasalize the vowel in bun. It's very difficult, and I don't think that we do it successfully. I certainly don't. It's often nasalized. So it's like, it would have been fine. I understand. I appreciate that you find it strange. It's the same way that I find French very strange.
You said you found it strange.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure
No,
it's
I appreciate they also found it strange. Yeah. So yeah, do you no votes? That's good.
I just wanted to make sure people knew I didn't put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a side note, Rialfio likes Menishe.
Oh.
That was good language. I wanted to say Azuare, but I think that means like goodbye and not thank you. I was trying to remember how. Oh, no, that was Azuano.
Yeah, Azuano.
Dang it. See, I can't even. I was going to say thank you in Menishe, but then I failed miserably. Okay. Option E, right below that, all geminates, but no CCC. First is killed. Got 1 vote.
That was the more likely of the two, but anyway.
David?
Yeah, so this is...
I need to stop letting you make polls.
Yeah, so this is one where, malsa would become massa. And this is a highly likely sound change. Very highly likely sound change. Anyway, continue.
Too likely. It's too on the nose.
Well done, Jonathan.
Option B
was don't do anything. Keep all the geminates. How many votes did that get?
3.
I mean, it's interesting. I thought it would have been fine. All right, continue on.
Okay, so slightly faring better was C with only glide and approximate geminates.
Would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. No fricative geminates and no oral stops, of course. But it did a little bit better.
It had 8 votes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So better. And then, coming in at almost 20 votes, F. All geminates but no CCC. Last is killed.
I should have said that this one was strange because it is strange. So we have this malsa becomes malsa. Like, I don't know, it's not terrible. It's just 2 things. One, you're effectively killing an onset in favor of a coda, which makes no sense, because onsets are much more acoustically prominent than codas. And second, we already have a bunch of rules targeting codas and getting rid of them in this language. So this is basically the opposite. Yeah.
I'm still trying to remember how to say it. Oh. I believe it is elaruvu is thank you. Okay. But that's besides the point. I was trying to remember how to say it. So there we go for Riafia. Elaruvu. Okay, going on. Back to cats.
Yeah.
Off witches, onto cats.
Yeah, so like Jonathan's asking, with the nasality, would you expect nasal geminates to be preserved or for them to degeminate? I don't know. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this.
He doesn't know what to do because he added an option just as an option, and then it won, and now he's like, oh.
Yeah. Like, I did this one because obviously at and what were staying? Wait. Right? Because that one stays and I stays, right?
Yes. Do you like how, yes, oi and au stays.
So that one stays. That's why I did that. But I think that what will happen, is that this situation won't actually occur. And if not, we're going to make sure that it does. Basically, we're going to have the nasalization happen before the geminate killing. So it's going to happen last, shall we say. And if it happens last, we can do things before it to fix all this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna totally do it after this rule. And everything will be fine. So, geminate
Destruction? I mean,
simplification.
There we go. Fix it like the wind.
That would actually be funny, though. Geminate destructions. In other words, anytime a geminate occurs, it's just destroyed. So it's not a singleton is left.
No. Destroyed. It was too much. Too much!
What do we do with this long mala? I know. Let's not say it. Ma.
I think we've officially been working together too long.
High five. All right. So, geminate simplification. And how do we word this? So, well, I mean, actually, we can write this rule, right? CC becomes C after C. And then we just need some subscripts. So, X. Oh, no!
Yeah, you have to highlight what you want to be subscripted. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I just kicked the trash can.
After...
We really need to work on getting a little table here. Right here. Well, we'll get one, right?
Why don't you try lowering that thing?
This thing?
Yeah.
Because it actually doesn't... It's kind of... Well, I mean... It's just kind of bizarre.
It is. It's a little steampunky, if you'll allow that, but, you know, it works.
But also, like, I can't not have my knee underneath it.
Yeah, no, you gotta have it there.
Okay, well, this is... We'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah. Okay.
But what is exciting is, and hopefully by the end of the month, I'll be able to see all screens equally well. I'm getting new computer glasses.
Do you think you're going to wear the computer glasses during the stream?
Oh goodness, yes. That's one of my problems. Is that I can't see this screen and that screen at the same time. And so the computer glasses are gonna be in effect. But why does that make you sad? You helped pick out the glasses. You said you liked them.
They are fine alternates, but your other glasses, the ones that are the expensive ones, those are the best ones. They look great.
Well, those will be the ones that show up on Instagram.
All right. Instagram is just going to be you taking pictures of the glasses sitting down there on a table. Here's another shot of my new glasses. There they are.
Never worn.
Okay. All geminates simplify to singletons when following a consonant. And I'm going to go ahead and put in here all surviving geminates.
I like it. I also like the italics.
Thank you. So, all right. Now let's see what we can do to the rest of this language so that that never happens. All right. First, let's go here. And then, can we just write a Gemini simplification rule? I don't know if Graham is here.
I like how we're like, I don't know if Grandma's here, and then we both just stare. Is he here? Side note, yay, Silvertail made it. But yeah, you can always add stuff in. It just won't be like saved as the official thing until he saves it on his end.
How do you do it? Like, how do you make it a Gemini? How do you say?
Well, you would have like class consonant followed by class consonant goes to, but we would want it to be alpha consonant. Yeah.
Here, can we just do
the same?
Can we just do simple thing? And this is all I want. Like, I think NN goes to N.
But only when it follows a consonant?
Yeah, at consonant.
And then underscore.
Like that?
I think you may need a space before the underscore.
Dang. Why? All right. Anyway, let's, this is what I want to see. All right. Sorry. Apply. Good. Perfect. So yeah, I wanted to make sure, okay, so yeah, the nasalization and all that stuff is happening, which means that there isn't any nasal geminates before. Now let's see what happens with this. Well, of course, that's not a geminate, is it?
It also doesn't match your NN specification.
Yeah. Yeah, so... and let me just make sure that that works here. Yeah, Mima is still there. Okay.
I believe that's me, man.
All right. So that's good. All right. So we don't have to worry about nasals. Now all we have to worry about is...
everything else.
Yeah. What?
Well, we took away the geminate thing. So what is reducing? We must have some sort of...
because they're M's. Hold on, let's do S.
We must have something in here. Why don't you trace evolution?
Yeah, I don't even know if everybody can see. Can they?
Oh.
Yeah, they can see.
Yeah.
They can see.
I mean, it may be little, but
they can see.
Get some computer glasses and it may help. Loss of coda L. Why? Because that's one of our rules.
Oh, that's right. Because, okay. That's pretty cool. Right, because we had this whole, it was this table up here. Or where's that table now? This one. It was this one.
Right.
Yeah, or something like that. All right, let's see what happens with R.
I think R's are also lost as codas according to that.
I thought R's were stronger. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Merza.
Merza. Oh, that's not good. Because I think I know what happened there. The R turned into an S. The R turned the S into a Z, and the Z turned into a TS.
It happens everywhere without exception.
Do we have other fricatives that we can play with? Oh my God.
But wait. Can we get a double consonant coda?
Yeah, I remember that was one of the other votes I didn't like.
But I thought it was limited in what it... Oh, it could be RX. And so what you're saying is the next... Okay. But I thought we...
Oh.
We already changed this. Because we already had the discussion about how that was horrible. And so we killed things.
We did. It's evidently not happening before when it's a geminate. But I bet if this was a K...
This is starting to remind me...
No, I guess that sound change didn't make it in. We must have not written it? Did we ever write this?
Maybe not. 'Cause I don't know that we... Yeah, I'm going to say no. But the results are reminding me of when in Friends, Joey and Chandler meet the Dutch woman and they're trying to say her name. Macha. And they keep getting it wrong.
So yeah, I think then Graham must have stuck to the rules that we wrote, and we didn't write this as rules. Did we?
I just now remembered what Pats means. Goodness gracious.
No. Darn it.
There's
Well, here's loss of coda L.
Which is already in there because that's why.
Okay. Well, okay, I guess we just did that one and we didn't do the other ones.
Okay, Jake is saying, yeah, this was never fully done, as confirmed on Discord.
Okay. Fricatives adopt the voicing of whatever is adjacent to them, except for vowels, I guess. All right. Okay, so here, then this is something that we can decide real quick, or this can be an actual poll. So, like, let's say that we had this protoform. Depending on where we put this rule, we already said that the extra coda is going to become an extra r, so long R. But depending on where we put this rule, this can either become sarha, or sarra. And the question is, which do we like better? Sarha or sarra? By the way, there's a potential future rule where becomes
Oh, and I might say your name wrong, and I apologize if I do. Correct me with IPA at some point.
Bye, Teeman.
Bye, Teeman. Okay. Which do you like better for sarha? Modern form.
We're modern at this stage. Yeah.
Modern at this stage is now mats.
Pats and mats.
Sarha. Sarha.
Got the double R's? Yep. All right.
Do you want me to make them small cap R's since I did the G as a...
No.
Okay. Cupcake parade. Either sounds like purring. Like them both. And again, modern at this stage is our MATS abbreviation, so that may mean that it changes again. But
now, what would Bibleridian say?
that's a good question. What is Graham going to say when he comes back to all this?
I think I know Graham very well. And so I think I know that what Graham would say is, oh, boyski. It's kind of his catchphrase. It's what he's known for. It's like, oh, boyski. There's our Graham again.
Our Grahamski. Okay, well, we have a few outstanding votes, and those few outstanding votes could really change things. So I'm going to let it go for a little bit. Just a little bit. But I do want to point out how, like, do you see how it's still very hard to see there's anything in here? Because the bottle is just dark.
Yeah. You know, bottles that are that color typically have a very high alcohol content. And since this is kombucha, that's accurate.
Something's got to keep me going through the street. The Graham trademark.
Oh, now I wish we could make a
shoot.
little TM, a GTM.
What do we do when we have all the votes and it's 50-50?
Same thing is written into our bylaws. We just see what Bibleridian voted and that one wins. Okay.
Are you texting Bib? Hey, Bib.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Should we end it and then just keep calling for Bib until he shows up?
Boyski wants a brewski.
Because
we
have more votes than we have current viewers.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Uh-oh.
Okay, well,
Dun, 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 dun.
people are like signing into my alt. Okay, ending poll.
Boom.
We got it. Thank you, Bev. Woo!
There it goes. I do like the idea of having a little to ras sound change though, but that's all right. Okay, so here we go. So now what is going to happen as a result of this is that sound change has to be after here, and it's going to target ha and gra. So it's going to be after fricative voicing assimilation. Okay, and we're going to call this the might of R.
Loss of might of R, or just...
Thank you.
You still have an extra of.
Oh my God. It's a circumposition. It's a circumposition. You have to have both of them.
If you would drink your kombucha, your brain would be on fire right now. And you'd be like, I got this.
Do you want to see what happens when I drink kombucha?
Well, I saw your face last time you tried it.
Yeah. Do you want to see it again? I'll show you.
I think viewers want to see you try kombucha again.
Good Lord, it's even ginger as well.
There's not much left. Hey, at least it's not pineapple. It won't make you hive up.
Have it.
Okay, now I gotta like watch the face. Oh my God, like there's...
Oh my God. It's so much worse than I remember. Oh.
But like I could tell you were anticipating what you remember. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I shouldn't laugh at you. So. See, now your brain is on fire, right?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. The thing is, the way this rule is written,
Thank you, Jonathan. Oh my gosh.
club mate. That doesn't sound like a thing. But actually, the thing is, the way this rule is written, this should actually become... Right?
Oh, I think it may be mate. Club mate. It's a caffeinated, carbonated mate extract beverage made by the Lusha Brewery.
Okay.
And yeah, it's mate. But it's a fizzy soft drink, which means no. but it's the stimulate yerba mate.
Oh, that's something I've heard of before. But I don't like carbonated things. But anyway, like I think this should just become this as a result of this rule.
Two fricatives, the voicing of the first in the pair carries the day. Oh.
So, like, I think that the rule was under-applied. Graham applied it once to produce the
which is why we had this
nonce form like that, but I mean, it should keep going. Why would it stop? This is a pair of fricatives, and this one should...
So in other words, we asked for Biblaridian's opinion, and now we're going to say sorry.
Well, based on what we've written, I now don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to make that happen. Yeah, I mean, you know, aside from just saying geminates don't count.
These fricatives will even voice after a glider approximately occurring directly before a voiceless stump. Yes, you read already. Yeah, we kind of really got the voiced fricatives going, don't we?
I mean, we can write another rule in here that says it doesn't apply to geminates. So that, you know...
There would have to be singleton fricatives adopt the voicing.
Yeah, so then, you know, because right now, salsa should be becoming salsa.
Which then becomes salsa.
Yeah, and also the L is going to drop, so it would...
Salsa.
Yeah. End up becoming that. Which is kind of cool, but...
But it seems weird to me that the geminates... I think actually I would prefer them not to voice, because then when they become singletons, it reflects the fact that they were special.
Okay. So then...
When two non-identical fricatives... Or just put a sentence at the end, geminates block this.
Or just like... do this.
Because then the second consonant is optional.
Yeah. But if there were a second consonant, it would voice as well.
Only if it's different, though.
Yeah. So, so then... this would become... Well, it would become this, which would become...
Satsara.
Yeah.
That Z to Z thing is really, really coming back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Because they're going to think of it as voiced, and they're just going to pronounce it like it's a...
Satsara. I can do it. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. And now we can...
transformed into a cat before your very eyes.
Finally, my dream comes true. All right. Now we can do the might of R. And also, I want to look at the other one. Because it's identical, right?
It's that we... What? We delete the N's while doubling the R's.
but it's also everything weaker than N. So N and weak fricative and L and H. H should already be getting deleted, and we need to write that rule in there.
What is the... I don't know the Shonen Knife song.
Okay.
Do you want me to have that little bit pulled up on my screen so you can see it if you have more questions about what we had typed?
Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to put it there just in case you do.
All right. Goes to nothing. Okay, and then how do we capture this? Because it's like nasals and weak fricatives. Also glides? Or do glides ever occur in that position? I don't think they do. No, they don't. So it's nasals and weak fricatives.
Couldn't they though?
No, I don't think so.
SARLA?
No, I don't
Oh,
think-
it's only with codas.
Yeah,
So this is only coda. Okay.
yeah, so it's, we gotta do an either or, nasals or, less continuant minus strident.
Hey, look at that. I knew what we needed.
Yeah.
Whew.
Okay. Coda consonants. M, N, H, K, and then do we have any others?
I don't think so, because I don't think we did it. Yeah, those are, yeah, because it would just be X and H. And then, yeah.
And H, delete in between. Oh, wait. Actually, they don't delete, they become lengthening. Delete and lengthen a previous rhotic when occurring before another consonant or the end of the word. Okay, there we go. So that's that.
For my brain, I need delete to change to like disappear or something, because otherwise I read it as delete a previous rhotic. Or delete, semicolon, then they, with the deletion, they, I don't know. I just know that if I read that when I come back to it on a previous day, I'm going to...
Magically change
Ooh.
into a
The same shape.
lengthening of the previous rhotic. There we go.
Perfect. Oh my god, my brain gets that now.
Okay, and we're also going to forget voicing assimilation. It can happen. The H disappearing can happen after fricative voicing assimilation. It doesn't matter. Let's go to H, and this one just disappears. But we should, just in case, put C plus glottal. Goes to nothing in between those two. Coda H is lost in between two consonants or in between a consonant and the end of the word. Okay, that takes care of that. All right, and now we need to figure out the S, or did we say everything that was in that brown list?
We're missing an at. I will add it.
Thank you.
Gotta find it.
Yeah, this is interesting because all of these are going to become TS due to that voicing rule. So sars is going to become sarts. Sarska is going to become sartska. Sartska. Yeah. Sartska. Yeah. All right. Sarts, sartse. So we're never going to have S after an R. But paradoxically, we are going to have Ch after an R. Or will we have S after an R if it's S-A-R-S-S?
That would stop it.
Yeah. Okay, now I kind of like this. Now I kind of like this.
Look at you getting on board.
Yeah, we might as well deal with the liquid combos now. So, but yeah, let me just double check. Now, we might have to add some rules in here to make sure this works. Yeah, because that didn't work. It voiced.
But that's also because we just added that.
Yeah.
That rule.
Voicing assimilation. Voiced. And we also don't have the degemination. So yeah, basically it'll work. It'll work. We know it'll work, just the sound changes aren't written in yet. Okay. All right.
Hey, y'all.
So then we can delete all this, right? I believe it's all accounted for.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And if we decide we need the information, it is still preserved in old PDFs.
Yeah.
But I think we can also, didn't we already address this?
I think so, because it's well, here, this will be the way to tell. Let's see if it's in the sound changes. So yeah, this should do it.
No, I think though that the Q is messing with that. Like a T or.
I don't think it's going to make a difference. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
Then was it supposed to be O, which got shifted at some point?
Yeah, because we had the mid-vowel push.
That's right. Okay, so E became A.
Yeah, all of these L, L, R became al, er, ar, ah. Yeah, so this is a proto-stage. But I think you're right, yeah.
Because then I also think the one below it we had already addressed.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. I guess this one, well, let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
this in this way it's really easy to tell.
Yeah, central vowels match the height of a coda liquid.
But you see we have a protoform kolko, and so the kol becomes kol, which then lowers to kal,
Yeah.
but the other O raises to u.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we got that.
Yeah, so that's good.
And then this was about something. What was this stopping?
Spread of nasalization. Did we ever write that? If we didn't write that, we should write that
Yeah,
somewhere.
number 17, nasal vowels spread from base to affix. They spread through glides, H, R, and nasal stops.
Otherwise, the spread of nasalization is blocked. Okay, good.
Okay, so we're done with that one too.
By the way, you know when I know why, I don't know if it was Biblioreading or somebody else said, hey, have we talked about romanization? This is why. Because we're in the modern stage, we're going to have these vowels a romanized, and presumably, right, for a.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but then we are also going to have nasal versions. We have a nasal version of this. So I believe that's right? Because the nasal vowels are, yep, So it's like we could, do nasal vowels like that, but then what would we do with the O umlaut? Suddenly we don't have a way to romanize that.
That's awful.
I know. So what we're going to have to do is do what I did with star-crossed language and what we did with Assimilation. So
yeah,
go to ends.
Do we need and
what that
do we need to indicate when it is or is not pronounced?
I think we do. Well, I guess that's a question. Oh yeah, no, we'll like things that Miles and Jonathan are suggesting. Absolutely, never, ever, 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 ever. But anyway, so let's say like okay, so we had like right. I'm gonna just say that's
Maku.
yeah, with an ah. So that would end up becoming no, it wouldn't. That wouldn't change because that blocks it, right? But mon o would become ma o. And so then, the question is, would we ever have spread to and it's like, well, I mean, even if we don't have spread to it. But anyway, so like what we're saying is that this would end up being, if we don't do the nasalization, then this is going to be manku, and this is going to be manron, or whatever we do for that. We'll have to figure that out. Either that or we don't write it and people will pronounce it wrong. Or we say we don't like it and we find a way to get rid of that nasalized vowel.
And this is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
But stick with me.
Yeah.
The E is never nasalized. And it's close to the and so they just write it as an E with the tilde.
No, the E is nasalized.
I thought up on the chart there were only 3 nasal vowels.
Yeah, E, O, and O-E. The central ones. Or the mid ones.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like...
That sounds like a problem for another day.
Yeah, honestly, like, none of these suggestions are even remotely workable. I apologize, but no.
Do you, though?
Not really. I don't understand why people do the things they do with romanizations. You want people to read it. Why would you write it so they can't? Anyway. But yeah, no, it is weird that there's...
Opinions.
It is weird that there's no low nasal vowel. And it's just kind of the way it worked out. All right. So let's... okay, we've got the nasalization spread. Let's talk about liquids coming next to one another. And so we absolutely can have geminate liquids. Oh, wait. The whole point was, are we getting rid of this?
Yeah, we can get rid of that and the next one.
Okay.
Now, this part we typed, but it's like totally out of place. Did we copy that where it needed to be? Because this should be with the vowel.
Yeah.
The vowel changes. Like, so we have a rule, but did we ever, like, put that?
Yeah, it was the Great Vowel Squish, mid-vowel spread.
And so we have that exact same text just copied and pasted.
Yeah, actually we do.
Okay, so then I think we can get rid of that, David.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, and then all this is our notes on, like, if we have nasal spreading and things like that. So this is all, like, this is all extra.
Yes. Okay.
And I think that is now decided.
Yes, it is. All right, so let's.
Wow.
Yeah, let's use
How
this.
good does that feel?
Let's use this space to look at. All right, I'm gonna come up with all the possibilities here. I'm gonna copy that. All right.
Do you have the new conlangery on this one?
No, I don't.
That's unfortunate.
It is. Okay, now those two and okay. So, basically we need to decide are any of these keep or not. Actually, I'm going to take away these two. These are done in by sound changes. So they'll become mara and I've suddenly forgotten how to make an a. I really need, that's how you do it. I really need to get that new conlangery keyboard. Okay, so these, we're gonna make those red because that's what happens to them because yeah, the coda L's disappear.
But they only disappear before another coda consonant.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's before a coda consonant. So like they don't disappear at the end of all codas.
You are correct. Okay, so then we need to do something else. We need to do a second set of these. Because this is theoretically possible, right?
So we wrote that somewhere, right? Syllable structure.
No.
When a syllable has two coda consonants, the first may be an approximate and the second may be a nasal or fricative.
Nasal or fricative, so no, that's impossible. Right. Yeah, so this actually
Right.
isn't possible.
But we do need then to bring back malra
Yes, we do.
for what to do.
Yes, we do. Okay. Okay, so let's first pronounce these. Merla, merra, merla, merra. Oh, Jesus. Merra, malra. Sorry, malra, malra.
Okay, so
Hey, Carl.
I think that R's are strong, and it eats up the L, and it becomes a geminate.
You want to talk about the L's, not this one, first?
Well, we'll get there, but I struggle to even hear the L in these bottom ones.
Really? Malra. Oh, malra. I have a harder time with this one than this one in terms of production. Malra, malra. But I think I see your point here. I don't think we even need to put that to a vote. So malra becomes marra. What about merla? Is that okay?
I mean, like, I can hear the L there, but, like, at the same time, it's like... It's just, I feel like there's too much alveolar action going and that the R is stronger than the L.
Marla. Marla. What if it was a different vowel? Marla.
That does make it easier for me to hear.
Morlo. Murlu.
Oh, that one makes it worse.
Murlu?
Yeah, I barely get that.
Mirli?
Apparently I need it to be we or la. But like, otherwise I would say like, we could make it where the first consonant determines the geminate shape, because I think a lot of these just end up needing to be geminates and or reduced. If we don't want geminates. So I guess that should be one. Was the vote specifically on Patreon, was that like we're allowing these geminates?
I mean, if these were geminates, yeah, that'd be fine, but they're not geminates right now.
Not yet, but I'm just saying like...
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Okay,
they're
so
fine.
they will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, State Grammar Cupcake Parade. I think that overarching, we should have a decision first, like... I don't know. I'm torn because we already have the precedence that these coda consonants are lost in some situations. Of course, it's a situation where there's another coda consonant. But then we also... Oh, that was fun. But we also could allow the codas. So anyway.
Gonna do these as well. Marra. Yeah. Okay. Marla, marra, marla, marra, malra becomes marra, and then malra, malra, malra. Gosh, that's hard to do. Malra.
Maybe it's also the fact that I swallow so many of my coda L's anyway. Like I feel like both the bottom ones would just end up being geminate.
So malra becomes marra, and malra becomes marra. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I was excited about the orange one.
Red essentially means they're killed, right? Okay, so now we have the ones where the R comes first. Let's actually go to the uvular first. Let's look at Let's look at the double R. So marra, marra.
Can you say them again?
Marra, marra.
For me, in all of these, what I hear most is the onset.
What do you mean by the onset?
Onset of the next syllable.
Really? Marra and marra.
No, say that second one again.
Marra, marra.
Which one was the onset? Which one was the coda?
R is the coda. R is the onset. Marra.
I hear the alveolar. Like the other one is harder for me to hear in that situation. I feel like when it's reversed, it's...
Well, that would make them actually the same as these two. So Sounds good to me.
So like those I feel good about because the R's are strong. What I don't feel good about is saying the same thing happens with L. Because in marla, like, I feel like it's easier to just keep trilling. Marra, marra, instead of marla. So anyway, those I feel like could be different.
Let's see here. Let's stick with the uvular. Marla, 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 marla. Or do you want to go to the other R ones actually? Marra, 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 marra.
I say continue our pattern for the R's.
Okay, so
And so the uvular.
marra, yeah.
Yeah. Marra. I'll get there. I'll get there.
Got it.
It's the L's that are gonna throw it off when they're the onset, because I don't necessarily think they should end up being stronger.
Okay.
By the way, I know you said don't do another version of conlangery, but I feel like I need to because I realized that I didn't have a J with the as part of the keyboard.
A what?
A J with the little hat check as part of the keyboard.
Yeah. That would only get used for
when I needed to type it the other day.
Why would you need it?
For a word that was an example in our Fun with Fauna podcast.
What language uses that?
I forget what language I was typing in. It was maybe, I don't know. I just know I needed it, and I was like, it's not there, so I had to go get it from.
Usual one. Okay, marla, marla, merla, marla.
So the question is, should the pattern be stronger, or should
Carlo. Think
we
about
do
it.
something?
This word where, marla is actually a word, or a name. Carlo is a word. Marla, Carlo, Merla, Marla.
Armenian. Thank you, Jonathan. I was going to say that, but then I was like, I can't remember for sure. But thank you, Jonathan. Okay, so well, do you want to do a series of little votes here? Like, how do you feel? Should we allow the RL combos when the R is first? Either form of the R. Should we?
Okay. Yeah, let's do, okay. RL. Both are good. Alveolar L is good only. Rala is good only. And I guess neither.
And we want only, oops. Good? Like that's what you intended?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, again, this
See
is
what
about
happens.
preferences. We're just trying to get a sense of what's going on. See how people feel. Ooh. I was gonna say, ooh, that shot up into something, but then it was like, oh, 2 votes came in.
Pronouncing them again. Merla, merla, marla, Marla. With a couple of different vowels. Carlo, 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 Carlo.
I think our viewers are just as split as we are.
Mm.
Well, it's starting to be a little bit more. But yeah, it's difficult. There does seem to be overall just a general preference for if we're going to allow it, the alveolar being allowed and disallowing the uvular.
Yeah, right now we've got a tie. Oop, both just pulled ahead.
Okay. Well, that
One more vote.
is roughly.
Oh my. Holy smoke.
Oh! Okay. Well, should we get Bib's verification that he voted? Make sure. Alright. Oh gosh, it's moving.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting though because, you know, having the neither option, some allowance of this cluster is preferred overall.
Yeah.
But it is interesting.
20.
Oh
my
gosh.
God.
I can't do this. I can't watch. So stressful, David.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, at this point, I feel like we're getting more votes than viewers, so.
Yeah, they're canvassing. They're trolling the internet for votes right now.
They're getting their neighbors to chime in. All right. So the question is, should I go ahead and end it? Because that's. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it. This is preference. So the preference is clearly to allow some sort of RL combo. There is a slight preference to only allow the alveolar version. And I say slight because when you take into combination...
Right.
Well, no, it's not slight anymore because it's like when you take into combination to allow both plus only RL, that's like most of the voters.
Yeah, everybody
Very
liked
few
that.
voters were like in the uvular voting crowd.
And those that wanted the uvular, that's 47%, which is less than 50. So we're going to have to do something with this. The question is, what?
Can you say it again?
Marla. Marla.
In fact, fully informed by my regular account.
Marla. 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 Marla.
I feel like it needs to go one of three ways.
Okay.
Delete the coda consonant, so the uvular R disappears. Whatever we do when that happens.
Well, I think if
compensatory lengthening.
I think it would have to
whatever.
be compensatory lengthening, yeah.
So either that disappears. The R is again stronger, and so it eats up the L, and we get another geminate situation. Or we follow the pattern and say the L is the onset, therefore it eats up the R and becomes mala.
I think that's a good vote, and I'm happy with any one of those three being the result. So.
Oh, Jake is asking, do we want a second vote on just the RL or both?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that would just be a wasted poll, so I think that the non-RLs are going to win, so might as well just jump to that one. And I like the idea of there being some sort of a change here.
For situations like...
Oh yeah, have you not seen this shirt before? Jesse made me this shirt. I like it.
So the question is, should it be, this is taking me just a minute to type, so bear with me.
I don't know what I'm texting Carl. He's right here. Typo for what, Carl?
Okay, so I have a little description with each option.
Okay.
So that way you can see what's going on, because we've got, you're either doing coda R deletion here, again, just the uvular R. The second option is to say the R is strong, so have it be geminated. The third option is to say follow the same pattern. L is the onset, therefore it should be geminated. I mean, that was just off one vote for a second, so.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Hayezi in Ingala means sunset.
Okay. So yeah, it was a typo. All right. I'll fix that. I'll fix that later. I don't know why I'm saying out loud exactly what I'm texting Carl. Uh-oh.
Bib is undecided.
He doesn't know where to put his pawn. Why am I? I can't wait for this one.
Well, I think, though, it is kind of decided based on the number of votes versus viewers.
Really?
Yeah, because more than half of everything we've already gotten, we've only got like one outstanding vote.
Well, how about that?
So unless it's Bib's vote, and Bib, of course, gets all the votes,
yeah, and
I think it's decided.
certainly my one isn't winning, which is, I kind of thought that the long vowel would have been the cool one, but...
The coda deletion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we now have more. Yeah, we're in that same situation, so
Yeah.
we're good.
All right.
So we're gonna follow the pattern and have it be mala and mala.
All right. Here we go. What a funny little pattern.
It is, especially with the one exception. But we decided something today, David.
Yes, we did. All right. Go with us. Come on. Cheers. Dun, 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 dun. Oh boy.
Don't say that.
Kopiko doesn't spread nasalization, spreads happiness.
In other words, it's kopiko, not compicon.
Well, let's just say if it were compiko, it would stay compiko. It wouldn't become compicon. All right. So let's write this rule up, and we have to decide if it is going to occur here. No, wait. L before two consonants, right?
Well, before a coda consonant.
Yeah. Well, let's put it with the other assimilations. Fricative voicing assimilation. Might have R. It's probably going to be around here. So.
I feel like it's going to be before the might of R. Because otherwise, I don't think mala would be an option. So it's going to happen before the R became like, oh my God, look at all these R's we've got that are strong. And then it became like the strong one for everything else.
Yeah.
So I think it's in between those two, 7 and 8.
Huh. So you know what the funny thing is? We are going to have sequences where... Oh my God. Oh my God. What do you think that's going to be going to become? It's going to become that.
Isn't that what this was all about anyway?
Yeah, but we're going to have the sequence rala,
But only if it's geminated.
marla. All right. All right. All right. Do it right here then. Liquid assimilation.
I mean, right?
Consonant plus liquid
Mahla.
goes to CX before.
See, like Ampere is saying, once coda are deleted, the R became precious and revered. They didn't know what they had till it was gone, so they said, let's strengthen this baby.
Okay. And then we need to say when two liquids come in contact, they become a geminate version of the second. This, however, is blocked when the sequence is that. All right. For clarity, that sequence remains. All right. Okay. We got rid of that.
That means we're semi actually finished with sound changes.
Semi.
We're going to be semi actually finished with sound changes until the day we stop working on this language.
Yeah, I know.
But the semi is very important.
Yeah.
Because what that means is we can start thinking about other things.
Almost.
Including where we could head in a direction where we could have a patron poll.
Yes. Almost.
Okay.
Almost. This is what I want to figure out right now. Oh, wait. I can't do this. Mount, cool. Oh, that's interesting. That shouldn't be able to exist.
I feel like that was a decision made like last week. I don't remember if Graham had been able to update.
Okay.
Wait, didn't we say this had to be the oral version? It blocked nasal vowels from doing this. Because here the raises to E, but it's only if it's oral. And so I think that's just like a small thing that needs to be fixed. Ow, ow, ow. Just took the skin off my finger.
Dang.
See, that's why this is dangerous.
Yeah, actually, I recall seeing other high vowels getting nasalized as well, and low vowels. Yeah.
So that just needs to be. It's actually bleeding now.
Here, why don't you pop up and you want to get a Band-Aid?
What are you going to do with my computer, David?
Close it.
Oh, don't close. I don't know what happens if that closes.
Alright.
Just, leave it running.
Alright. So we never wrote in the rules what happens to the nasal vowels. So there really was no reason to suggest that these things don't push in one direction or the other. I felt like we had a whole little section for what nasal vowels we had after certain things. And that's gone now. Oh boy. Let's see here. I'm pulling up the old PDF. It must have been in, okay, so it wasn't, I'm looking at last time's PDF. Yeah, we had this. Was this a vote? Like, because here we have this right here, right? And we decided that blue was going to win. We did this whole thing. But I feel like we just said that we only wanted these three nasal vowels, like they would only occur after that, but we never actually, did it.
Totally don't have Band-Aids small enough to fit. So all I ended up doing was wrapping my finger 4 different ways with the Band-Aid, but then it cleaned up the blood, so it was fine.
All right.
But I couldn't get my finger to actually be able to bend with the Band-Aid. Anyway, so what did I miss? What'd you do while I was gone?
Well, I pulled up the PDF here from last week because we never codified this, or this part of it. We never wrote a rule about this. So we just kind of decided that after these vowels you get this nasal vowel, after these vowels you get this nasal vowel, and after these vowels you get this nasal vowel. And that was what gave us the only O in our language, remember? Because there is an O otherwise. We just have the nasalized O.
So we need to write rule number 25, which is the nasal vowel harmony.
Not really, because that's the thing. And remember, that's why we did this. This isn't actually harmony. It was like when we were talking about, when we wrote this up, they were like, but what happens to the nasal vowels? And we're like, oh, right. At this stage, we have this, and then we had these three possibilities for what we might have as nasal vowels.
Okay, so is
this was if we applied the rule. Purple is if we applied the rule, right? And so that's essentially what Graham is giving us in our sound change applier. Then we had this option, which preserved and aw, but only as nasal vowels, and had them contrast, but only as nasal vowels. And we're like, we don't like that. You know, like the only place we contrast, you know, and a would be as nasal vowels. And so we did this and said, all right, those squish.
Okay, so we need a rule 25 nasal vowel squish. So essentially all the rules get applied and then we squish.
Except I don't see how we get from here to here. I see how we get from here to here. I don't see how we get from here to here. Because it's basically like, originally when we produced the nasal vowels, we had the vowels squished before nasal codas because we didn't want to have as many distinctions. And so I don't see why they would then push up to these and then push back.
Then write it into both 23 and 24 and say, but if it's nasal,
yeah,
it stays mid.
Yeah. So V alpha ATR minus nasal. So do note that nasalized vowels resisted this push.
But don't we still need to kill?
Yeah, no, because now this is our inventory.
Okay.
And so then we just need to affect that. Central vowels become front vowels, resulting in okay, this includes nasal vowels. So now, now we have this inventory except no more schwa. That schwa has become a. You know, okay. The has become a. All right. And then we have the vowel harmony, so now we need to write in a new rule 23. Nasal vowel merger. Vowel. Honestly, we just need to do this. And that takes care of it. Yeah. Nasal vowels. And okay. And then that's what does it. So now we just need the little tilde. Come, little tilde. There you are. There you are.
Can you add it to the capital V?
That's the thing. We don't need to bother with that because these are the only minus ATR vowels in the system at this stage. Because I believe a and aw are plus ATR, aren't they? Or are they?
I have no idea.
Actually, maybe they're not. All right. Yeah, we'll put the thing above this.
Okay, but
Actually, we don't need to do that. We'll just say vowel plus nasal. There we go.
so do we still have a nasalized E? As in like E, not a, E.
No, we never had it. We never had it and still don't.
Because the nasal brought down the vowel.
Yeah.
Okay. This includes nasal vowels?
Yes,
so
it does.
That's only the schwa because the high E.
Yeah, there was never a nasal
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So now, the last thing that we might consider doing, if we so decide, is do we want to merge these two? If we merged them, we could include tildes in the romanization. Otherwise, we're having to roll with our coda ends.
And to clarify, we okay. Oh yeah, that means they were new and then died.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have no oral O, but we have a nasal O. We have both oral and nasal A and U.
Yeah, you know what? This is a fairly big decision. I think let's make this the patron poll. Very simple poll, but it's going to be like, do we merge do we merge and or do we keep them separate?
I mean, there's good reason to merge them. They are, by the time you nasalize them, they are very similar.
Yeah. They're distinct in French, I believe. So you have prince versus le. I'm sorry, the nasalized version of that. Earns. Right? So you say 11, isn't it?
I mean, that makes sense.
Or is 11?
Because it's like once, right? Except the French version. Alright, so do you see Jake's question?
What about un merges with on now? Oh.
We're going to keep the frontiness.
I mean, the making me angry, Jake. Darn it. All right. Hold on a sec. First of all, let's produce a sequence where this would actually emerge. Oh no, wait.
Oh, do you see Karis's comment?
Oh.
That is happening right now.
Yes, because that vowel is un, so in Spanish it's un, right? But in French it's un. But yeah, it does make sense that that would just merge as where you don't have the rounding. Yeah. So brun and brun are now homophones for a lot of speakers. Oh, that is interesting.
It's cool. It's a nice precedence as well for what we're proposing here.
It is. Oh, and of course this still has the wrong one, but that would be... Yeah, so no, I think it's just going to be those two options. It's just going to be, it's merging as the front unrounded vowel, or we keep them distinct and have three separate nasalized vowels. Mm-hmm. So let's do that. That will be the patron poll. and so that will be decided. I think the only phonological change left to decide
For now.
is, I mean, ultimately we're going to see things happening at the end of words we don't like, or things coming into contact that we don't like. So we'll have to pretty those up along the way. But it's going to make a lot more sense once we start working with grammar. So let's use the rest of this time to start with that.
Dun, da, da, da.
Okay. So
Tell us about this language.
I wanted a strongly head final language for this.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you're the cat person.
Okay, so here's...
I got my path cut out for me when I am going to do we are not doing the no minimal pairs for the dog language when I'm in charge of the dog language. So,
Don't worry, we're going to do it.
no.
I'm actually super excited for the dog language. I had no interest in it at all, to be honest, but then like once we started talking about it, like I'm so jazzed for that dog language. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it will be.
Every single word a minimal pair, like, or not a minimal pair, no minimal pairs at all. Like, it'll be so cool.
I quit.
Bork will be a word. Bork?
No.
Huh?
No.
I mean, of course these things are going to be words. They're going to have to be. But, okay. All right, so this was the original, like, idea behind...
Schuyler?
Schuyler. God.
What?
I will fight you.
What was that?
I will fight you. All right. So, noun classes. Lots of cases. And then agglutinative. Vowel harmony.
Ooh, well, we got that.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. This is too big.
Mm-hmm.
So, question is, do we still try to capture this idea but make it shorter?
In terms of like we do both but reduce both?
Yeah.
Or
so like,
we're choosing between one or the other.
give you an example. So like, this would have been like a root, right? And then like this would have been, class, and then and by the way, this is actually real. This would have been number, and then this would have been case, and then like this would have been possession. And so then you ended up with Matkulasian, right? For something like, bare boots. And then on top of that, you have a whole other verb. And then on top of that, you potentially have other nouns in the sentence. And so, like, you just have all of these billion things. And it ended up looking like, conlangs that I think you might be familiar with if you look at our conlangs. That type. But, so what we need to try to do is if we want to try to rescue any of these things, we need to shorten it up. And so one idea that I have is like reduce these slots. So for example, either do no number or number plus class, which would be like Bantu languages. So like if you think of if you think of noun class, and then you go to something like Latin, you have class 1, class 2, class 3 for the nouns. Each of them has singular and plural pairs. In Bantu, however, it's like class 1 through class 20, but like half of these are actually plural classes. And so it'll be like, this is not a real example, but say class 1 and class 5 both pluralize in class 2. And you might say, well, how do you tell the difference between the two? Well, apparently they rarely overlap, that type of thing. Certainly we don't and shouldn't have as many noun cases as Gilles did, which was 57, because some of them weren't even really cases. It's just kind of ridiculous. But I think it makes sense to conflate this, either that or do no number. And then like for possession, could do a separate thing. Here, let's do something else. Oh, by the way, Gilles had lots of it had stative verbs. So like ingala.
Okay.
And they could do double duty as either, adjectives or predicates, which was helpful, actually.
So I've actually never ended up doing a language where class and number were totally conflated. So like that to me sounds kind of exciting to figure out how we could conflate those in ways that, make sense for the language itself. And in so doing, also minimalizing case for an SOV language. I really think that having some sort of distinction for the, subject and object would be really helpful. But beyond that, like, I think we could get around not having case outside of like very few, like just a handful, just to be like, we need, mark the object to say I'm doing something different. Maybe have a genitive, which would take care of
a lot
possession. And then that's like kind of it.
By the way, this was also a thing. The language was also head marking. So it had all these cases and it was head marking. So there was no way you could confuse who was doing what to whom.
Right.
You're just beaten over the head with it.
And so anyway, that's all where right. I'm going
so let's do this. And then we're gonna make this the kitty cat blue. All right, so minimal cases. Classes that conflate with number. I don't even really know what it's important to even say that, so I'll just delete that. It's going to have vowel harmony. Do you like the stative verbs?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's a nice way. I don't know. I think it's kind of an elegant way to have adjectives and predicative, both attributive and predicative without necessarily needing the copular.
And so now the question is for like the basic stuff, who does what to whom? Do you like the idea of him? Okay, so here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. There's no point in having class unless there's agreement. It's not really class unless there's agreement. So there's got to be agreement somewhere. And I think that was why, that was what drove the head marking. But then there's like, what was the point of case? Why even have that? You know what we could do? First there's precedence for this. That language that I worked on, that had noun classes and case. But it didn't have core cases. It only had local cases.
How so?
Like, if you knew, if you wanted to know who did what to whom, it was marked on the verb.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know, Damala da Saudi. And that would be, or Damala da Sa would be the camel was eating. And then Damala da Uji would be somewhere on there. I can't remember how that one goes, but it's on the verb somewhere. You don't change either noun when it's the object or indirect object. But you did have like these suffixes that occurred when it was on the camel, in the camel, near the camel.
Okay.
And that was it. What do you think?
I've never done that, so it could be fun.
All right. So let's do subject, object, and then we're gonna do maybe indirect object, animal, local. Yeah. All right. You can roll with those. So, adjectives and relative clauses proceed as they modify. There are postpositions, perhaps. And this means possessors will precede possessees. Okay. With relative clauses, actually hold on a sec. Cat who built that house is happy. Let's see. That house built through cat.
And then is happy would be like kind of one unit there.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. And this is what I wanted. This is what we could do.
Essentially turn them into participial kind of phrases to match what's going on with the state of verb adjectives, because it's like being happy cat.
Except this isn't a participle, this is a nominalization.
Okay.
But actually I was hoping that rather than the verb, maybe something like that. In fact, something like that.
Okay.
I think do you mean a construct state, not conjunct state? Thinking about this, hold on. Because it's like the idea is that this thing possesses this thing. What do you think about that?
My mind is not wrapping around it,
All right.
but it could just be that I need time seeing more examples.
All right. Well, let's put that in its own little box for the time being. I think let's start with, well, honestly, we have to start with noun classes.
So, where do you want to start?
Well, this is, let's at least talk about the theory of this. The idea is that, let's say that you had, blue is some sort of adjective, and then you have, blue house, right? Theory is that cat could be thought of as an adjective, and it is a cat person, And so that this would end up becoming the class suffix, with most nouns being treated as kind of modifiers. And so, the first thing that we need to do is come up with some categories, and we're going to think of
categories.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's happening.
Yes, it is. In fact, you know what? No, I'm not even going to do that. I'll show you what I'm going to do. None of those are good enough. This is what we need.
Exactly.
All right. And so let's throw out some.
Yeah, there's definitely, there's an argument for it could be edible.
And we should also think of plural categories as well.
Which is
And
interesting because it's hard for me to conceptualize how a plural category would differ. So I'm really interested in seeing.
Because effectively, this is what we did with Menishe.
Yes and no. They weren't
they are
tied
separate.
together.
They are separate.
Yeah.
But, imagine if they weren't. Because after all, there were certain times, remember, in Menishe where we would say this was the natural state of it, and so when it just occurs with its plural with no prefix.
Right.
Yeah.
I also feel like for them, tool or instrument, something you can use that's used to being used. And based on what I know about cats, they're very finicky about texture. And
Yeah,
so
they
I
are.
feel like there would be texture differentiations. Yeah.
Soft things, hard things, rough things.
Things meant to scratch.
Yes, bibulating. These are house cats who aspire to be greater cats.
Oh, things you can sit in.
Actually, how would you capture that
Container.
distinction? Yes, container. But cats love these little caves, little hidey holes. In fact, I'm just going to put cave right here because that could be, or that could be one class. That could be where it came from. I don't know how to describe it, but that could be where it came from.
We need a catnip category. Things that drive you wild, but
Let's see, edible. What?
get all crazy. It happens to every cat.
Well, things you can fit through is everything. But this is a catnip here.
And Now I'm just thinking of those videos where people placed cucumbers behind their cats and waited for the cat to notice. Oh, they can't taste sweetness. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the sunbeam category.
Could also have a warm category.
Something that how would you categorize kibbles? The little dry food bits. There's lots of them. They scatter when they fall.
Well, okay, so would that be a good plural?
That's what I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah, so let's try mass.
Like I'm thinking like a marble category where it's like
grouped but easily grouped but must be contained.
Liquid, yeah.
Solid liquid.
Yeah.
Let's see. Loosely associated. Loosely and temporarily associated. It's like a group of individuals. What's the word for that from Cat's Cradle by Vonnegut? And then also have doublets.
And then, oh good. Also thinking of like,
Wouldn't be an unpluralable plural class.
Could we also do something where it's the same ideas, like loosely, like they're more closely associated, it's not so temporary,
So let's just
because like a team or a group or, you know, like things that you expect to stay together longer versus, I mean,
okay.
If that makes sense.
Tightly associated group. For example, a family.
Yeah.
Or yeah, let's do that.
Oh, Jonathan's kitten discovered climbing.
Nice. Let's do that. Climbable things.
And Jake is saying it's now the time to bring out honorifics. And Ragdoll, oof, that is so good that your cats don't knock things over, because not all cats can be said. Oh, you know what they would potentially also... Oh, no, wait, we already have liquids, because they would, you know, want to know, because they don't want to be plunged in the water, so to speak. But also a lot of cats don't like being up high. Like once they get up in a tree, they're like stuck there until someone gets them down.
Yeah, let's put dangerous places. And I'm going to write high here. In fact, maybe like
Tree limb.
cliff. I mean, not tree in general. It would have
It's
to be
the limbs, the tree limbs, the high ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have liquid, so that should work for that. I don't know, but this is just the brainstorming phase right now, so we're taking everything. I mean, at a certain point, it just becomes not very useful. So, I've done 18, and like I'd say between 18 and 26 is probably what you're aiming for in terms of the high end. You can certainly have as little as 2.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to start.
Yeah.
And next time we'll come back because it's now end of stream. Did we decide what we're doing for next week? I've just now realized that's next week.
Nope. I think that.
Are we just playing it out, see what happens?
No, I think that we should go in with a plan. And honestly, I think that we should do it. I think it'll give you a nice break.
So the reason we needed to discuss next week's stream is that we are going to be out of town again. But we weren't entirely sure we were going to have a place from which to stream. And so what we're going to do is cross our fingers that we will have a place to stream. We have every intention of being live with you on Thursday. And if it turns out the internet connection is not as good as we had hoped and the stream dies, we will be here for as long as possible before the stream gets eaten up by the waves. So anyway, yeah, we will be coming to you from a different location next week, but we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that we come to you for a full 2-hour stream. And then we will be back to normal the week after that.
Yes.
As in, like, back to normal as in these chairs.
Yeah, and then we'll be here for some time.
Ish. I think July is the next. August? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so we we will be there. Things you choke on. Hairballs. So yeah, so all that is to say, we will see you from a different location next week, and we hope everyone stay grammar and hope you have a good week in the meantime.
Bye, everybody.